All right, we were just talking about the quiz Rise. Clay and Zealous got a pretty zealous, bold prediction from Austin that Zealous would win that quiz. So let's hear from you, Nate. What do you think? Rise, Clay, or Zealous?
Well, again, I like to use my team Bold as a barometer to measure ourselves up against a couple of these teams because we did face two of these teams today in the round robin, Rise and Zealous, and they pretty much destroyed us both quizzes. That's all right because we're an up and coming team.
Right.
Maybe next year for us, but I would say in this situation. With Rise, I think they've got a pretty balanced team, and they got one or two good quizzers. They're all good, but two especially great quizzers that can carry the team. I think Zealous is the exact same way. They got two, maybe three quizzers, even though they only have 5 total quizzers. I think they get a lot out of what they have. And then Clay, they kind of the same thing, where they've got 2 or 3 that are going to be leading the team. I think in this situation, I'm just going to go with the experienced team here and pick Clay.
All right, yeah. Well, hey, that leads me to pick Rise. I'm picking Rise because they picked Clay and Zealous. Go Rise. All right, let's talk about upsets. Let's move on to upsets now. Let's talk about our upset picks in the upcoming bracket. Take a look, guys, at your schedule. See who it is that you're picking to win an upset in a quiz. And Austin apparently is going to pick 2 upsets because he picked Zealous in that quiz, which I think is an upset pick. They are a good team. They're a great team. They're a good young team, and that very well happened. But that was a bold pick. I guess I'll start us off. And my upset pick, as absolutely impressed as I've been with By Faith, and I expect them to be there at the end, I think that Moxie has a good chance to knock them off in Psych 3, Quiz 5. It's a Moxie, By Faith, Sparta quiz, so you have 2 teams from Summit there, and then we'll see how that plays into it. But I think that Moxie will somehow pull that one out and win the upset over By Faith. So that's my upset pick. How about you, Nate?
They do have a lot of moxie.
That leads you to upsets, yeah.
Yes.
And also lots of hair gel.
Yes. All right, well, my upset pick for this tournament, first thing in the morning tomorrow, Friday, Site 5. Before we get to that make or break undefeated quiz, we may not even have a situation where there's 2 undefeated teams facing off at 9:30 because of what happens in Quiz 1 on Friday between Revelation, Spurs, and Sundown. This is one of those wake-up quizzes. It's the first quiz of the morning. We want to make sure everyone's ready to go. We're not quite sure if this is going to happen. Again, like I mentioned the other night, which Sundown team is going to show up here? Is it going to be the Sundown team that just goes crazy and gets 5 questions in a row, gets their bonus, and just goes to the finish line and wins? Or is it going to be the one that jumps too fast and gets 6 errors in a row? That's what's going to boil down here. I think Sundown, with Kevin, the way that he motivates his quizzers to get a good start in the morning, he's going to be able to instill this into Kevin, into Austin, as well as with the rest of the team, and they're going to pull off the upset here and squeak it out with
I like that prediction.
Well, and here's the thing that I also played part in that. Spurs is not bad. Spurs can take a couple questions in that quiz. Maybe quite a few. All right, go ahead, Austin.
All right, so I've got Quiz 7 in Site 5 with Praising, Unashamed, and Messengers. And, I'm going to go right back on what I said earlier, too, here, because I picked Messengers as kind of the thing to look at today, and I think they're going to get beat out tomorrow by Unashamed. Unashamed has been looking strong. Their record maybe wasn't quite as strong as they expected it to be today, but I'm just looking at who they have on those teams, having quizzed Messengers already today and quizzed Unashamed over the season here, and I definitely think that Unashamed is going to be able to pull off enough points and keep the errors down just like Messengers does.
Yeah,
and that's what it's going to take. Is you keep the errors down just like they do, and then beat them out of the points.
You know what's
and
funny?
I think they will.
It's funny that I was kind of going on and on about By Faith sounding good. You were talking about Messengers looking real good. You were talking about Revelation looking real good. And we all picked against them. It just goes to show that anything can happen these days in the tournament.
It's the round robin.
Especially with these chairs.
Chairs playing into it. All right. Well, just real quick as we wrap up here, Nate, what do you want to talk to us a little bit about? You went ahead before each tournament. You make predictions for the round robin and how the seeding's going to turn out. Why don't you share with us your top 5 that you pick? Because Nate goes down through and picks each one of the quizzes and comes up with a possible seeding. So, what does your top 5 look like at the end of tomorrow? Do you think?
Yeah, if you look here real quick, you can see the little tiny numbers I wrote by every single quiz here is what if you can get in that close, you can see I got 1, 2, and 3 on every single quiz of the round robin for Thursday and Friday. I mean, you don't have to memorize
Nate,
this.
can I just ask you again? Did we discuss yesterday that you don't have a girlfriend? Is that correct? Just like me, like.
I am officially available.
And you can see that he's the favorite. I know, I did the same thing.
that's
So
something
no
with the
offense to that.
sleeping, too.
No offense.
The memes and this came from the same place. The memes.
Right. And lack of sleep.
I'm a funny guy, and I do not know what's wrong.
What did the tree say? What did the tree say to the mushroom?
I don't know.
The same thing that I would say to Nate. You're a fun guy.
Nice. Okay, how about your
Okay.
top 5 from your
He
season?
said he was funny, so.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
right.
I appreciate the compliment. So, top 5, my predictions now. These could be a little skewed because I'm not able to factor in total points scored by each team because that would be impossible to predict. And I do have somewhat of a life. I have a regular job that I have to do every single day. So I couldn't get into that detail. But top 5, starting number 5, I have Sundown with a record of 15-3-0 as my prediction, which I already know is probably going to be off. Number 4, I have By Faith with a similar record of 15-3. Moxie coming in 3rd place with a 16-2 record, and then I've got a basic tie between the top 2. Revelation and Ribbon with a 17-1-0 record for my top 5.
And
What
those
do you
sound
guys
like
think?
those sounds like pretty realistic predictions.
I don't think you can put Tongues of Fire up as high on number 6 there. I mean, maybe they had better quizzes against other teams, but when Sundown quizzed them today, they weren't looking real strong, had a bunch of air outs, got way into air trouble with their own quizmaster, Thomas Gossel.
They did destroy us, though.
Yeah, I also think another one, Moxie might be ranked a little bit high. I mean, they look real good, but I really think we're going to see By Faith and Messengers up there too. All right, so here we go. We're wrapping up today with our little signs. So write down something on your signs if you haven't yet. Some takeaway thought, and here I have a takeaway thought while those guys are getting ready. So here's my takeaway thought for you. It's pronounced no, not new. I'm on here with people from Minnesota, Wisconsin who take their O's and draw them way out. And so I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of language lesson while we're here and you're on the show. And also in terms of the word no, I just wanted to bring it out in terms of just no to all the expectations that we have so far. Just no. Whatever we've said, whatever predictions we have, they're out the window. They don't matter. It's pronounced no, and just know that you don't know what to expect. Who knows what might happen? The day gets long. Crazy things happen late in the day. You have one ready, Austin?
I think I do. I'm just going to say, at this tournament, there's some fantastic teams, and just like you said, we have no idea who's going to walk away with this trophy.
That was a pretty
This is the
quickly
Mosman.
driven trophy. Written trophy.
That's the Mosman trophy. You see the little flames on top? I'll color them red.
That's nice.
No. That's the Mosman trophy.
You like how I gave you the orange marker?
Yeah, and I wanted to write something about Sundown on it, but I thought that would be self-serving.
Yeah,
So
right. Okay. I think,
I'll just put Sundown and say Sundown is going to win the Mosman
Nice,
trophy.
nice. All right, Nate, what do
Okay.
you got? What do you got?
What is that trophy for
Quick,
again?
Nate, what do you got?
Well, I think I spelled it right, but this is just what's going to come down to in this tournament. The chairs, all right. I mean, like I was saying earlier, they're a little bit different. They're a little bit getting used to. They're blue for one thing. We're used to like metallic colored chairs, whatever that color would be.
I think you
What? What did I do?
just make
Blue chairs, yeah. So, I think it's what's going to come down to. The difference between winning and losing can sometimes come between 3 inches of plastic.
Nate, I think I liked your sign yesterday, but I think you just misspelled #Chris.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for watching another episode. We'll see you tomorrow.